Hi guys, in this episode of the Nostalgia Trip, I'm gonna be continuing with my reactions to Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, the 2012 series. And we're actually at the 5th season of this show, which is also the final season of the show, and which is also subtitles Tales of the TMNT. I'm actually pretty excited about this season because I literally don't know anything about it. I've never seen it. I've never seen even a single episode of it. So it's the one season of the show that I'm completely blind about. And also because of what it seems like it's going to be with such a subtitle like Tales of TMNT, it seems like it's going to be a lot of episodic but very high concept kind of episodes, which are very like self-contained with their concepts. At least that's what I'm expecting this is going to be. We'll see whether that's going to be the case or not. But before we get into it, I do want to tell you that the order in which I'm going to be watching the episodes of the season might not be what you expect it to be. Because for those of you who don't know, the order in which the episodes of this season were originally produced is different from the order in which they aired. And since the produced order is what the creators of the show intended the episodes to be watched in, that's the order in which we're also going to be watching the episodes. That doesn't really concern you until at least I think episode 7 or 8 or something along those lines. I'm pretty sure like the first couple of episodes were in the order, released in the order that they were produced, so we're fine about that. But in the second half of the season, it's definitely much more all over the place. And I feel like that's going to be a much more entertaining experience because the episodes which are clearly intended to be the end are going to be the end, and we're not going to have a situation like in the 2003 series, which by the way I do really want to point out how both of these shows seem to have been fucked over in a similar way for their final seasons, and also I guess for the 5th season, should I say, because in both shows the 5th season is kind of conceptually different from the previous 4 seasons, and it's cut short compared to the previous seasons, and the production of those seasons got fucked over as well. But I just wanted to go with a production order because I don't want to end up with a situation like in the 2003 series where the final episode of the show that we watched was Mayhem from Mutant Island, I think it was, which was like a Baxter Stockman episode, which just feels kind of weird for that to be the final episode we watch. But that was also like a webisode kind of thing where it was cut in pieces and released in bits. I don't know if it was online or as in like ads on TV, but it was cut down like that when we just watched it as a whole episode. And if we follow the release order of the show, we're again kind of gonna end up with like a dumb, silly episode as the finale instead of what we should get. But yeah, I am pretty excited to get into this final season of this show. It's been a journey. Like in the beginning, I definitely it felt like a chore getting to watch this show or sitting down and recording and releasing the videos. It definitely felt like a chore, which is why it took me so long to actually get through season 1 and start season 2, and you can clearly see how much quicker I've been releasing the second half of the show compared to the first half. That is one of the bigger reasons, because I just didn't really enjoy it that much in the beginning. But the second half of the show, namely season 3 and 4, have been amazing, and I'm expecting that the quality is gonna go even further up with season 5. Let's hope it does, please. But before we get into the reaction, I do want to remind you that you can get a full-length version of these reactions over on my Patreon or on my Ko-fi account, where by subscribing at the specific tier I've created for it, you get access to all of my full-length reactions to this show, to Generator Rex, to Full Metal Alchemist, the 2003 series. Those are the shows that are available over there right now, though obviously neither of them is full. And will never be full because the first couple of episodes I wasn't recording full-length reactions yet, so it starts from like episode 3 or 4. But going forward, every single show that I react to will be getting full-length reactions, so the collection is gonna grow more and more, so yeah. If you don't want to do it though, that's completely fine. You can just stick with my YouTube reactions and just enjoy them, you know? And yeah, the episodes that we're going to be getting into in this video are obviously going to be episode 1 of season 5, Scroll of the Demodragon, and episode 2 of season 5, The Forgotten Swordsman. So without further ado, let's get into episode 1 in 3, 2, 1. I literally don't know what to expect now. Especially now that Splinter is dead.
Stop this freak job! Did you see what he tried to do back there? He belongs to Casey Jones.
Oh, so he started to use his new mask, huh? I like that.
He's getting away! Casey! Sorry, dude.
I definitely like this mask of his more. Why does that look like the Aeons?
Never a good sign?
It's definitely not, but it looks like them in their evil form.
What the heck are they? Not human dudes, dude.
I mean, clearly.
It's all good though. We got these punks. Are you crazy? There's too many. Casey Jones never runs from a fight.
And that's gonna be your downfall.
Holy geek out, Wingnut. This is so awesome. Mikey, pizza is on me tonight. Get whatever you want.
What are you fanboying so hard over, Leo?
Mikey managed to track down all these old super rare VHS tapes of Space Heroes: The Next Generation. The official.
Oh yeah, so
sequel to the
Space Heroes
original
is pretty
Space
much
Heroes.
Star Trek, I
These
guess.
are from the early 90s, but most of the tapes were put in a landfill because the show was deemed too disturbing for kids.
Definitely feels like they've upped the animation quality for this season as well.
It's no Krognard.
This is just as lame as the first Space Heroes.
Lame?
Like there's just something about the animation for the turtles that just feels more lively and more detailed. Like back in season 1, I really thought it was kind of very computer graphics from like PC game graphics from like the early 2000s, or maybe not early 2000s, but mid 2000s.
Sacrifice. So Casey Jones and his sidekick Raph gave chase.
But now it looks really, really good.
My security sensors have been picking up more homeless people.
Yeah, there's definitely more detail in the animation, for fucking sure.
These creatures are performing weird sacrifices. Then we need to do something about it.
Children, heed my words. We are close at hand to bringing about his return. But we must find
Whose
the
return?
scroll of the Demodragon. With it, we will be able to summon a mighty being who has the power to bring forth the Master himself.
The Demon
In
Shredder?
this city, go forth and capture the scroll. Do not fail me!
I just upgraded these new motion detectors to track down our rogue friends. Now, if they're in these sewers within a 5-mile
Man,
radius,
I'm genuinely blown away by how much detail there is to the animation
We split up and
this
put these
season
things
already.
within 5 miles of the
Like,
lab. Let's do
it's
this
not my
together.
eyes playing tricks on me, right? It's so much more detail. There's so much more moving parts in the background. Like, this feels like a movie level of animation quality. I love it. I'm not 100% sure what the general opinion of the Tales of TMNT is to the fans, but I feel like it's positive. I think I've heard a lot of people like it, but again, I haven't really delved into the opinions of people or anything. Like, this really reminds me of the kind of stories we got in the 2003 TMNT, which were like my favorite. Or at least this first one reminds me of that.
Mavaka Sekula Nadava. Mavaka Sekula Nadava.
Like, we haven't gotten this kind of creepy shit in this show, until now at least. It's mostly being a sci-fi show, but now it's more of like a occult or horror show. What the fuck are those creatures though? Okay, that is kinda creepy, dude. Okay, this episode is much creepier than I could have possibly expected, man. I like this. This is so engaging so far.
Mikey!
Come on, Leo, you can't lose your brother, too. Why are these things so strong?
You think this is where they live?
Ooh, if they're actually alive.
Mikey. Aw.
Do not be sad, my son.
Father!
Well, what's the point of killing him if you're just gonna have him as a ghost?
Leading your family, but
This is giving me heavy notes from the underground, plus was it the Darkness Within from the 2003 series? It feels like a combination of those two.
Our time is nigh. We finally have the scroll of the Demodragon in our possession. Now we shall.
You know, you could have come up with a better name than the Demodragon.
Power we will ever need.
Tiger Claw.
Is the cult leader?
Excellent work, my foot cultists.
Man, I really love how much more far up its own butt this season is. Man, does it look so fucking good! Jesus Christ! Okay, those are some creepy sound effects. Okay!
Mortal! You dare call upon Caraxus?
I was gonna say cool design, but his face is too cute.
I will burn you and the rest of these abominations to ash.
Man, has the animation evolved this season?
You will do nothing but obey me. Ah! The seal of the ancients.
It's so much more, like there's so much more frames in the scenes and in the moving of the characters. I love it. And it also looks so much better compared to season 1.
You will destroy
The art style itself feels more detailed.
Fidelity. You will obey me.
Yes, master.
Oh, he doesn't like it. The first thing he's gonna do once he's free is attack Tiger Claw. Man, this guy is really threatening though. He definitely seems tough. Jesus! He's not even breaking a sweat! Whoa! Dude! That was badass! Oh my god, that was so cool! I definitely know what's gonna be the thumbnail for these videos. Good job, April.
Gifts, and when I eat her whole, I will absorb her power and use it as I wish.
Guys, why did you fucking run away? Also, this episode is almost over. What the hell?
Because I am not of this reality, child.
Hey, bro! We have to retreat! Let's go! Mikey!
Is it true? Only you have the power to manifest my wish, do you not? Indeed.
Revive the Super Shredder?
I have that power, and so much more. Then you must do it, no matter what it takes, no matter who stands in your way. You will bring the Shredder back from the dead!
Yeah. So that's what that is about, huh? Okay, so this is actually making me remember something. But I'm not sure whether I'm just misremembering the season 4 finale or whether I'm possibly remembering what could be an episode in season 5. Because I remember seeing a little bit of the fight between Leonardo and the Shredder. Like, I don't know, like 10 seconds of their fight. And I don't even remember when it happened, but it happened at some point in the last 2 or 3 years. And now hearing that this is what Tiger Claw's plan is, to revive the Shredder, I'm wondering whether they are actually going to have another fight before the end of this season, which, I mean, fine, I wouldn't necessarily mind it if it ends up being a cool fight, but similarly to what I have to say about Splinter showing up again and again and again, what the fuck's the point of the character being dead if they're gonna just bring them back again? Especially because they all died in season 3 because of the black hole. They both died in season 4. And what, the Shredder's gonna come back and get killed by Leo again, and Splinter potentially also gonna get revived, which I very much doubt that's gonna happen, so... Or at least I really, really, really hope it's not gonna happen, but you never know with the show, man. But yeah, this is definitely a pretty good start to the season. I honestly really like everything about this. Let's just first start from the most superficial things that I noticed about this first episode of the season. The visuals. Like, go back to like my reactions to, I think that like the first episode of season 1, when they are first fighting Snakeweed. Like, I'm pretty sure I mentioned in the reaction how the visuals, the art style, and the animation makes the TMNT look like they are from like an old video game, like from 2008 video game. That's how well animated the characters looked. But compared to this is so much better. This is better animated than the 2007 movie. It's as good, if not better, than the 2007 TMNT movie, and I'm here for it. I love how much more fluid it looks like. I love, just makes it feel more lively, and like I said, because in general animated movies tend to have more frames than cartoons. Whenever you watch a cartoon with a higher frame rate, or frames per second, or whatever you want to call it, it makes it feel like more cinematic. It makes it feel like more like you're watching a movie. So I definitely got that vibe from this because of how much more well animated it is. And on top of that, when we're talking about the art style itself, in general, it's been improving over the seasons, with like season 4 having a lot of different shots that looked drawn on. And now it seems like that's the kind of thing that they're employing for like the characters' looks as well. Like they've drawn on with a like on hand, they've drawn on how the characters should be colored and look, and they've plastered it onto the CGI bodies, you know? That's kind of how it comes off, because it looks like those drawn-on shots that we have seen in the last season, but it's obviously the moving characters that look like that. But yeah, it just feels so much higher budgeted and higher quality, and I love it. I really, really do. And the plots, I love it. This feels so much more entertaining to me as I love it. It feels like it's much more like a more mature show that you can't enjoy just as a 5-year-old. Because it's definitely been getting more mature with each season, just like the 2003 series, but the 2003 series right off the bat felt like it had a lot of depth to all the stories and everything, while for the 2012 series, it really felt like a genuinely a kids exclusive show in season 1. It just didn't feel like there was anything that I, as an adult now, can bite my teeth into. We didn't really have anything like that, but it's been getting better and better and better with each season. But now it seems like genuinely it's mostly like super fans or adults who are able to actually enjoy this, because it's not episodic crap, it's not just random villain of the week that we're having, but actual ongoing story. And we already had that in season 4, but this is even more so, and I'm really here for it. I really enjoy it. And there's also the more horror or occult feel that this season seems to be having, at least right off the bat, that I'm here for it. And it really reminds me of the 2003 series, because the 2003 series had a lot of horror-inspired stuff into it, which is one of the reasons why I love it so much. It's very horrifying, it's mature, and I'm sensing a lot of the same vibes from this. Obviously still in the realm of the 2012 series, but it's leaning more towards that. And I really do like it. Like, this genuinely feels like a show that I would have enjoyed even if you guys didn't ask me to react to. Like, I would have I would have decided to watch the show even on my own, even if I wasn't doing it for reactions. Because this seems really good. Like, this feels as good and as entertaining to me as Fullmetal Alchemist 2003 does, which, by the way, out of the 3 shows that I'm reacting to at this point, which are TMNT 2012, Fullmetal Alchemist 2003, and Generator X, Fullmetal Alchemist was my favorite show out of these 3. And this feels very much like that, like a lot of occult and a lot of horror stuff inspired into it. Although, again, I want to complain about the design of Cavaxis. Like, for the most part, his body is fine, but it's just his face looks weirdly cute and goofy, and I really don't like about it, because he's otherwise a very commanding presence. Like, he's beating the turtles left and right. Like, that scene with Leonardo breaking his sword over his face, that was badass as hell. But it's still, his face looks a little goofy. And honestly, I really wish that Tiger Claw's plan wasn't to revive the Shredder. Because if there's one thing this show should have learned from the 2003 series, is stop relying on the Shredder as the only main villain. And actually try to make up new cool villains. Like, yes, in the 2003 series we got actually a decent variety of season-long villains, with like Bishop, who is my personal favorite villain. Then we got Vyro and Shokanabo, and I guess we also got the Demon Shredder and the Space Shredder and the Triceratons. But like, my point is, stop relying on the Shredder. Not every incarnation has to have Shredder as the villain all the time. Have some more different ones. And if this was maybe Tiger Claw becoming the main villain, that would have been cool. If this is the beginning of like this guy, Cavaxis, becoming the main villain of the season, that's fine. I'm all here for that. I just really hope it doesn't end up with just Shredder coming back and fighting the turtles again, and with a badass fight against Leonardo again, because I already had that. And I do want to say as well that if we do have another fight between the Shredder and Leonardo, it's just gonna make that season 4 finale even worse than it already is, in my opinion. But yeah, overall, definitely a really good start of the season. And in terms of a rating, I'm honestly really willing to give it like a 9.4 to a 9.6 out of 10. It honestly could be a 10 out of 10 in many ways, because it's one of the most enjoyable episodes of the show that I've ever seen. But the thing is, I expect more of this kind of stuff from this season, and I expect that we're probably going to get better episodes in this season than just the first episode. So I don't want to blow my load too early and give it a 10 out of 10, even though compared to most episodes of the show, it's definitely goddamn up there. But as well, in more honest opinions, like in long term, this episode is gonna solidify to be somewhere around an 8.4 out of 10. But the horrifying and the horror aspect of this episode definitely really makes it a 9.6 episode out of 10 for me. So it is somewhere there. Pick your scores there, I guess. The point is, it's a really good episode and a really good start to the season, and I can't wait to get into more. So without further ado, let's get into episode 2. The Forgotten Swordsman, in 3, 2, 1. I still don't really have an impression of what this season is exactly going to be like. So hopefully after this episode, I'll kind of get what we're gonna be going for with this season. Is every episode gonna be like a self-contained story that is also part of like the bigger story? Wait, is he dead? He was dead! Why did nobody fucking tell me?
With this, the seal of the ancients, I command you, raise Chris Bradford, our fallen comrade. Very well.
Hey, Shinny! We haven't seen you in a bit. I've missed you.
I should never have been down that long. I'm not gonna have some upstart mercenary undo my work rebuilding the foot.
I'm sorry, Karai. I should have kept those traitors in line.
They need a strong leader. They're waiting to see how this plays out.
There.
Wait, aren't those the food that she brought from Japan or something? So they're not under her control anymore?
Pathetic.
Tiger Claw?
What?
Definitely Tiger Claw.
Think you can play tricks with me?
Or maybe not.
Who is this Akuma?
The Forgotten Swordsman?
Something familiar about... No! Shinigami! Only one man can fight that well.
Sashiburi dana, my old pupil.
Who is that? I thought it was gonna be somebody else, but I guess he doesn't come in until a few episodes. Can't wait to get to that episode though.
Where'd they go?
And I wonder how they're gonna introduce him into this version.
Get off of me, zombie wolf!
I'm gonna enjoy feasting on your shell, Michelangelo.
Man, is this the first time he actually has called him by his name?
What does Hothead want with it anyway? A little small for him.
Oh come on, you're so much more capable, you should be able to kick their ass. That's the one thing I hate about this show. There's no power level development. No matter how much better the turtles seem to be by being able to actually kill the Shredder, they're still struggling with these lackeys. 2003 definitely did that better.
Well, you won't be around to see it.
You should not have come out of hiding.
Oh, they also have their Deus Ex Machina teleportation device, huh?
They're gone, Master Hattori.
You always did like bossing people around.
Karai!
I wish I could say this was a social visit. Someone new is trying to take over the Foot Clan. He's after the Kurokobuto.
So what? Let the bad guys squabble over Shredder's stupid hat.
We might not have a choice. Guess who else is going after that Kabuto? And you're not gonna believe why.
What? They're going to use the Kabuto to bring Shredder back from the dead? Tatsu seems to think he's the new Shredder.
But if we keep him from getting the Kabuto...
Ooh,
the foot
what's with the
won't
arm on the
fight.
shoulder, Shinny?
After all Shredder put you through, why not just...
Oh, I ship them so hard,
It's not
man.
that simple, O'Neil. Tatsu will be coming after all of us. We have no choice but to take him down.
At last, the Kurokabuto. Now
I mean, it doesn't
claim
look
my
that
right
Kabuto
as
to me.
leader of the Foot Clan.
It looks more like a skull now. You're not gonna be able to defeat him though. Okay, this guy's tough. Jesus Christ. And fast.
Foolish gambit.
Is he blind?
Tatsu is blind?
Don't you know I can hear you coming a mile away?
Okay, that's interesting. Definitely makes him a little bit more of an interesting character because he's a badass who is blind.
Yes.
Oh shit.
Just watch this baby! We don't have time for this!
Yeah, I was gonna say that.
I expected more from the students of the Great Splinter.
Damn, why is he so fucking fast? And also, I agree. I definitely would have expected more as well. It's been 5 seasons and they still fight like newbies from season 1. Oh shit! Oh, I thought they fucking disintegrated or some shit. Oh, come the fuck on! Oh, that was cool! I actually did not expect that was gonna come back to bite somebody in the ass. What are you doing? I guess he is gonna die. Okay, he's definitely dead.
No! The Kabuto!
The power to resurrect Shredder is ours. Destroy the turtles. Leave no one alive. As you command.
You guys gotta run.
But trusting in your allies is a great strength. We're gonna need your help against Hothead.
Whoa. I can't think of anything more frightening than Shredder coming back to life. We can't let that
I
happen.
can.
We
A
have to
demonic
stop
version of the
Tiger
Shredder
Claw
coming
back
back to life.
once and for all.
Okay, so we are officially teaming up now, huh? Cool. Da-da-da-da-da-da. Okay, so this one definitely wasn't as entertaining as the first episode, but it was fine for the most part. Like, there were some really cool fighting scenes in this. I really enjoyed the fighting by this guy, although his character is not particularly interesting to me. He felt kind of blind. I liked his gimmick of not being able to see and focusing on his hearing, but that is such a common gimmick, I feel like, when it comes to fighting, that it was fine for what it is, but it's nothing like groundbreaking or anything. And yeah, it just wasn't that interesting of an episode. It didn't really give us something that we didn't see in the first episode. I guess outside of Karai and Shinny, but this episode felt more like continuing the plots of last season instead of doing like a completely different thing. Like, this is kind of what one would expect from a continuation in the next season of TMNT 2012, you know? And I still don't understand why is it called Tales of TMNT, because nothing about it so far is Tales of kind of thing. Because like, when you call something like a show like that or a season like that, you would imagine that it's going to be probably like an anthology. And that's kind of what I expected. And maybe it still could be that. But right now, I'm still kind of confused about why it's called that. Because, like, for example, the upcoming Walking Dead spin-off, Tales of the Walking Dead, is going to be an anthology series, which is going to be focused on different characters with different stories for each different episode. And it doesn't seem to be the case for TMNT, though, because so far these first 2 episodes have been a continuation of a story arc, or the beginning and the continuation of a story arc. But like I said, this episode definitely feels more like continuing on thing with the consequences of things that happened last season. And I'm fine with that, but it does feel more of like a season 4 episode than a season 5 one. Down to the fact that we also had Shinny and Karai, who, by the way, I fucking love together. I love Shinny. She's such a great and fun character. I wish we actually got her more. But yeah. I just enjoyed the first episode more. It was just more groundbreaking and shocking in many ways. This was good, but it was just blander in comparison. Yeah, I just don't have much to say about it. It was fine. The fighting is definitely the best part about it, though. And in terms of rating for this one, I think I'm gonna go with kind of like a big jump compared to the first episode of the season, but I just really enjoyed that episode so much more compared to this. So for this one, I am gonna go down to an 8.2 out of 10. It's still a pretty good episode, but it's much less exciting compared to the first one for sure. But yeah, what did you guys think about these two episodes? Comment your thoughts down below and let's have a discussion about it. And also, before we end this video, I just want to give a huge shout out to my currently one patron on Patreon, Deadpool. Thank you for your support, I really appreciate it. It really means a lot to me that you have decided to support me and have continued to support me for such a long time. Hope you continue to enjoy my content and continue to support me going forward. Thank you very much. And now, before we end this video, I just want to talk about something to you guys very quickly, which some of you may or may have not noticed before or know about me, that being the fact that I am trans. And yes, this may come as shocking to some of you because I don't really flaunt it that much on my channel, or at least I feel like I don't. Outside of like my K-pop reactions, which is where I feel like the most comfortable being myself like this. And yeah, I am in fact trans. I'm not necessarily full-on male to female, but I heavily want to transition to being pretty female. I do consider myself more non-binary though, or maybe gender fluid would be the best descriptor as well, because I do have occasional moments where I feel fine being like just a normal guy, but most of the time, like right now, I do feel very dysphoric. And that's why I'm asking you guys for any help that you can give me, because my situation right now, I don't really see any way outside of you guys' help. Because, and this is gonna be kept short and concise, I live with my parents. They're never going to accept me as a trans person. They just never will. And as a matter of fact, back when I started the YouTube channel, I was actually kind of slightly starting my transition back then, with like starting to grow out my hair. I even got to DIY HRT, but because my parents started noticing certain things like my behavior had changed a lot and my clothes had changed a lot, I kind of had to stop doing that because they were constantly nagging me about cutting my hair and just started to kind of be threatening in a certain way and felt like they were ashamed of me and everything. And that just kind of stress just tired me out to the point where I just gave up. But as dysphoria goes, it just doesn't go away, you know. I still feel like this, and in fact it's somewhat been intensifying again recently, so I just wanted to share this with you guys. And again, I would really appreciate any amount of support you can give me in regards to this, because I just don't see any way out of this. Because even if I moved out of my parents' house and got myself a job and everything, that's just not gonna work for long-term planning, because once I transition, it's like I probably will not be able to get myself a job because my country is very transphobic. Nobody gives a shit about LGBT people at all. So there's not even much I can do even in terms of transitioning here. So yeah, I don't know. I just would appreciate any amount of support you can give me, be it monetarily or in any way otherwise. And this is not about boosting my channel or anything, or guilt tripping you with my sob story. I just wanted to get this off my chest and make my subscribers aware of the situation that I am in, and that I would appreciate anything that you guys can help me out with. It would mean literally everything. Like, for example, a friend that I made after starting this YouTube channel, my good friend Yuri, has been helping me out a lot. And I genuinely might have not been here if it wasn't for him showing up and befriending me. So yeah, this just went a little bit longer than I intended, but I would just really appreciate anything you can support me with. That's kind of ultimately what I'm trying to say. And yeah, hope you guys enjoyed this video, and if you did, please leave a like, subscribe. Also, check out the description to my Twitter if you want to follow me over there, and to my Wattpad where I post my stories, because in addition to doing all these videos for my channel, I'm also a writer. And if you don't enjoy my stories or simply enjoy my videos, you can head over to my Patreon or to my Coffee account, where you can pledge support and help get the channel going, help support me so I can keep writing the stories you enjoy. But if you don't want to do it, that's completely fine. You can still help me out in other ways, like liking this video, subscribing to the channel, and especially sharing this video with someone who you think might enjoy it. And I think that's pretty much it for this video, so hopefully I'm gonna see you in the next one. Bye!